I was best friends with my brother's rapist. I met my best friend Keith in the 7th grade. He'd always been kind of entitled and off as he came from money. His parents found out he was gay 8th grade year and were generally accepting. So I don't know why, but he became a serial rapist by the time we were 15. I remember the first time I found out. He threw a party the summer before freshman year and I caught him upstairs on top of some other boy who looked way out of it. He threatened to out my twin brother Carlos. This was around 2007 and Carlos played football and our dad was an abusive and homophobic donkey. There's no telling what would have happened to my brother if he'd been outed then. He promised to never say anything or to ever mess with Carlos if I kept my mouth shut. So I looked the other way. He'd target closeted kids he'd target from the GSA or the Queer Youth Center. He'd either drug them or overpowered them when he got them alone if he could. Sometimes he'd throw a party and take advantage of some drunk guy or drug some guy's drink. He'd keep their titilities, briefs or boxers as trophies. I'd convince guys not to say anything under threat of my brother being outed. By the time we were 16, I noticed some changes with my Carlos. He'd withdrawn from everyone and he wasn't himself. He even quit football. A month before we turned 17, he killed himself. Reading the note he left about what happened to him, I put 2 and 2 together. That Keith had raped him too. He had the nerve to come to Carlos' funeral. I beat the crap out of him afterwards. I caught him alone one night and I did a hit and run. Keith didn't die but ended up paralyzed from the waist down. No one knew it was me, and if Keith did, he didn't say anything.